So hi guys, my hair's still a bloody mess. So it's early in the morning. I spent the morning making a video with Ginger Alden. I thought, a beautiful video. A few of you sent me this interview with Ginger Alden. It's a very long interview, it's well over an hour. So I thought I'm gonna go through it in little clips. I thought we could also watch it together, but this morning I've only got a quick 20 minutes. So I thought we could just put this clip together that just sort of talks very beautifully about how Elvis, when he found out Ginger's grandfather had passed, the first thought for Elvis was that he wanted to help her, he wanted to be there for her, and even wanted to attend the funeral with Ginger Alden, which I just think is lovely. So we're going to play the video I made this morning. Again, you know, we've had a tense week. You know, I've done a lot of tossing and turning on what we've been doing in the last 8-9 days. I'm definitely moving on from that topic. We're going to pick some different topics, many different topics. But Elizabeth said to me, why not do some topics showing off the people that were very good to Elvis, very loyal to Elvis, that stayed true to Elvis. An example is Charlie Hodge. And Ginger Alden does come to mind. She was very good to Elvis. She may have said a couple of things that I'd rather she didn't, but generally she has been very loyal, very true to Elvis. So I think she deserves that we share this story that she has. Elvis deserves better. So the people that have been very kind to Elvis, Ginger Alden still honors Elvis in a beautiful way, even to this day. Beautiful woman that was only with Elvis briefly for 9 months, I think it was. So we are going to start showcasing the people, whoever they are, that were kind to Elvis, that were good to Elvis, that never let him down, that never betrayed him, that always built him up. Let's play the video, guys. Remember, Elvis deserves better. This shows the true Elvis. Thanks, guys. Let's listen. Defending Elvis Presley. So I've woke up, got myself a nice cup of tea. I've had a few of you messaging me about this interview with Ginger Alden.
So this is my first time to Eureka Springs, but I always loved it. And it's been quite a few years, but I came here quite a few times in the past. And when I was young.
Yeah, and your sister's also been here as well, right?
Yes, yeah, my sister Rosemary. So no, it's beautiful here. So I'm excited to be back.
So I think you're in for a bit of a treat in this short clip that I've taken from that interview. So the gentleman introduces her to the audience, how they met, Elvis and Ginger, and then hands it over to Ginger. Let's have a little listen.
So she met Elvis towards the end part of 1976, and he had an engagement, his last Vegas engagement in December of 76, and came back off tour, and Ginger, after that tour, had gotten some bad news that her grandfather had passed away.
Yeah.
So obviously that is just heartbreaking for Ginger, who was very close to her grandfather. But I don't think she could ever have expected what would happen next.
And I'll let her tell the story because to set it up, you know, obviously you were going to your grandfather's funeral, but certainly after touring out in Vegas you didn't expect Elvis, but he kind of surprised you. I'll let you tell that story.
So she goes on to mention about Elvis's New Year's Eve show. So I'd like to look that up, maybe do a discussion concerning that particular show. Let's keep listening.
Elvis, I was with him on his New Year's Eve show, and I don't know if a lot of you saw that. It was a fantastic show. For me, it was always difficult because I was at all of Elvis's shows except for the 9 months that I was with him, and I thought he did phenomenal.
So we as fans obviously were very interested in Ginger Alden. She spent the last 9 months with Elvis. We're going to do some live streams and we're going to make Ginger Alden our topic.
And even when he pulled a hamstring muscle or whatever, he wanted to give the audience his best. But the New Year's Eve show was quite something. But if you had asked me, I just thought they were all so well done. It was hard to separate at the time.
So believe it or not, Elvis was still doing his karate moves right till the end. Had pulled a hamstring. I've read about this a few times.
But yeah, it was, I think it was around New Year's Eve, my grandfather passed away, and I was very close to my grandfather. So we were coming off the tour, came back to Memphis, and I told Elvis I had to leave. I went to Graceland with him and had to leave. And it just amazed me because I was going to go to my grandfather's funeral. And he told me, he goes, I'd really like to go with you.
Obviously, this was a big deal. Elvis Presley going to her grandfather's funeral. She was probably really surprised that he wanted to go. I'm not surprised. For me, the way that we know Elvis, it was no surprise to me.
And we were just shocked. My parents were already in Harrison, Arkansas. And my grandfather lived, they lived in Mount Sherman in Jasper. And so, I mean, how many people would think that Elvis Presley is going to go to the funeral with you? I remember thinking we were going to drive there, and I was like, well, where do we put him? What do we do? You know, we had all these plans to...
You know, a very sad time for Ginger and her family. But Elvis Presley's coming to the funeral? Wow.
But I knew he had to be tired from the tour, and I remember just saying to him, you know, aren't you tired? And he said, no, I'd really like to be there. And that always holds a very special place in my heart.
And as I always say, a beautiful man inside and out. Elvis Presley wanted to do his bit for his new girlfriend. So guys, I'm just quickly messaging a few people because I'm not here for long. So I want to just let this play out quickly. I'm just quickly trying to tell you guys that I'm live. Before I go, I've only got 15 minutes left.
The weather was very bad in Harrison. It was very icy and snowy, and I remember Elvis was just determined to get my family there, so he offered his plane, and he ended up flying my sister, my brother, his wife. Elvis was on a mission to help her family to get to the funeral, no matter what the weather.
I love this because, you know, come on. Elvis didn't see this funeral as a superstar, as one of the most famous men ever lived. He saw his girlfriend. It's pretty clear that Elvis really liked Ginger. Now, do I think they were ever going to get married? Don't know, guys. Elvis was going through a lot. But he just saw a girl, a woman, a girlfriend. There was distress. Obviously, she'd lost her grandfather that she was very close to. And he just wanted to be there for her, go to the church, help her get there in icy weather, and do the right thing and fully support her as a girlfriend. Not as Elvis Presley, as a good-hearted Christian man that wanted to do the right thing for his girlfriend. This is Elvis, a beautiful man inside and out. And this is why we've had such a difficult week or so, trying to defend Elvis, trying to show the world just how good Elvis was, how unfair it has been to him, where close people to him have trashed him, betrayed him, let him down, backstabbed him, double-crossed him, took advantage of him, took advantage of his name. So this is why I'm playing this video, why I've made this video. We are now going to go on a new road. Elizabeth came up with the idea as well, where we are going to start showcasing the people that were good to Elvis, that were loyal to Elvis, that truly loved him in the right way, where money didn't matter, possessions, belongings. What mattered was they loved him as a friend, as a family member. They loved his heart, whether or not he was famous, whether or not he could sing or looked amazing. They loved the true man in his heart. And we will be showcasing these people because Elvis does deserve better. And
it was quite treacherous, and we landed on this icy runway in Harrison, and we stayed at the Ramada Inn in Harrison, and Elvis made sure that we made it up the mountaintop, which wasn't easy because of all the ice, but so Elvis attended my grandfather's funeral, and that was about, I think it was maybe January 3rd, 1977.
I'm actually quite worried. When I listen to this story, I'm like, my God, they could have crashed. The whole thing sounds very scary. Icy weather. Landed in icy weather. It's like, whoa.
And that was quite something too. The church was a very small, I believe it was Assembly of God Church in Mount Sherman. And Elvis had a very close friend, Charlie Hodge, from his Army days, and Charlie was with us.
So we've done some pretty tough topics recently, haven't we? Charlie Hodge is the person Elvis chose to bring with him to this funeral. Says everything to me. Elvis really loved Charlie Hodge and really trusted him.
And the church was a very small, maybe 6 little pews on each side, and Elvis walks in, and there was other family people that knew, they knew he was coming. And everyone was my relatives, they were very polite to him. And
so for me, this is the most touching part of this whole story. Have a good listen, guys. This is beautiful.
And I remember the minister got up and started to sing, and he was quite nervous. He knew Elvis is sitting looking at him, and I'll never forget, Elvis looks up at him and just goes like this and nods and starts slowly singing along with him. And Charlie Hodge did too in harmony, and you could just see the difference, the change in this minister. And he got the approval.
Okay. So Elvis looks up and nods his head. Right, use that one, use the blue one. But it was more than an approval. Elvis and Charlie Hodge start singing with the minister. Just beautiful. Could you imagine being there? How beautiful that was. How they honoured Ginger's grandfather. Guys, it blows me away. It blows me away. Elvis is sat there. The funeral is taking place. The minister starts to sing. Charlie Hodge, who is a very talented musician, isn't he? And can sing. And then they just quietly start singing together, and Elvis gives his nod. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard about Elvis. Love it, love it, love it. I love this. This is so special. This is the true man. Elvis does deserve better.
And so
Time we leave him,
it was just an amazing thing for someone. It shows what a good-hearted person he was, that he took time to do that.
Perfect. Hear it? It just shows what a good-hearted person that he was, and he took time to do that. So I definitely want to give Elizabeth some praise. This was her idea. She said, let's start focusing on the people that have done good for Elvis, that supported him, that stayed loyal, that didn't double-cross him, that didn't betray him, that didn't just want his money, the possessions, didn't just want the home, you know, to live in his beautiful home and have... Part of the thing was that these men would get women, some of them, yeah? People like Lamar Fyke, Marty Lacker. They would, and Red West, Sonny West, people like that. There were women around, wasn't there? So for the picking, yeah? There was, from the point of view of partying, these people really benefited, didn't they, from being around Elvis. Also living in luxury, these people. Many gifts, lots of money, clothing, horses, cars, motorbikes, traveling, you know, being on the movie sets, being at Vegas. There was such a high life being around Elvis, wasn't there? These people really benefited massively. So why then do these people go on to betray him? So as Ginger Alden says, he had a good heart. Good heart. He didn't deserve what happened to him. So we have moved completely off the topic of what we've been talking about in the last week or so. We're not covering that topic anymore. We've made our point. Yeah. Our point is this, and this is Team Elvis. This is Louis at Defending Elvis. Our point is this. It's very simple. We send out a message to anybody that has betrayed Elvis and bad-mouthed him and said disgusting things about Elvis. we will bring it up. We will discuss it. We will expose it. It won't be forgotten. It won't be brushed under the carpet. We as Team Elvis, and we'll do it as respectfully as we can, as kindly as we can, are going to expose all the people that have trashed Elvis. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter if they're related or, you know, a family member, a friend. Doesn't matter. We will bring it up. We will discuss it, and then we will move on and forgive. Elvis would want us to forgive. We will always forgive. We will move on and forgive. We've had a very difficult week. I've clearly going to admit to you guys, I have struggled with this topic because it's not something that I took lightly. It was a big decision for me to start exposing certain people for trashing Elvis, for betraying Elvis. I really suffered. No, suffered's the wrong word. It was very tough for me, very tough every day. But I also felt that we had to do it. I also felt that we at Team Elvis had to do it. We had to. And not just aiming at a certain person or a certain ex-friend, or should I say a Memphis Mafia or Priscilla Presley or other girlfriends, ex-employees. Just anybody that was very close to Elvis, that Elvis trusted, that Elvis wouldn't have thought in a million years that they would double cross him, betray him for money. For valuables, for items, for gain, yeah, for fame, for success, to sell books, to sell documentaries, to sell biographies. So we are going to carry on exposing people that come out of the woodwork and that are still trashing Elvis. We haven't stopped exposing people. We've just moved off from the topic we've been on. So I say here loudly, we at Team Elvis, Defending Elvis YouTube, remember our name is Defending Elvis, it's what we do. We love Elvis, we love Lisa and the bloodline. Anybody trashing Elvis, we are going to expose you, whether it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or yesterday. We are going to expose you and we're going to defend Elvis. But I also want to highlight the people that have been good to Elvis. There are many, many, many people that were very, very good to Elvis. And I think Ginger Alden was one of them. And she still is. She still speaks beautifully about Elvis. She is one of the few people that towards the end of his life says how good he was. How good he was. How he was optimistic for the future. How kind he was. He was looking forward to the up-and-coming tour. Even spoke about getting married and having a family. After we know about the engagement. She always says, the people that say about his weight and his drugs, she always says she never saw that. She never saw a very fat man. We've shown in the pictures, he wasn't very fat. He had a bit of a tummy, but if you look at the Hawaii pictures of him on holiday, he actually looks quite well. Yeah, he was getting better, getting ready for the tour. So when these people trash him and say he was heavy and fat and drugged up, it's so cruel and so wrong and so far from the truth, because Ginger Alden was there with him to the day he died. And she said he was getting better. He looked better, slimmer, and was not drugged up out of his head. He was on serious medication because he was chronically sick. Elvis was truly sick. These people never mention how sick Elvis was. So Ginger Alden gets a pass from us. Anybody that speaks well of Elvis gets a pass from us, from Team Elvis. So this is where we are, guys. We're going to be discussing many positive stories of people that were true to Elvis, but we will still be exposing the wrongdoing, anyone that has betrayed him. Okay, guys, that's where we are. So I've got a couple of minutes. Got to go, guys. Words from Ginger Alden. Perfect.
If you don't mind, can you show that other picture that we have? So this is a photo from that day, correct?
Yeah, that was at the cemetery in Mount Sherman. And that was, I'm actually fortunate. A lot of people were like, oh, you're smiling. And I said, well, that's what usually you do when someone says to take a picture, even though it was my grandfather's funeral. But that was by the graveside. So I'm actually happy that a cousin of mine took this picture so that I have it.
And we, the fans, of course.
She's not here.
we
If
are
she's here,
happy
you can, yeah.
That picture was taken. Elvis just looking pretty normal at the funeral. So the people that insulted him, damaged his dignity. Elvis looks fine. He looks fine. He looks like he's there for his girlfriend to honor her grandfather.
I think this was on the cover of several magazines back then, so you guys may have copies of that. And your father also, after he passed, he's also buried in that general area, is that correct?
Yes, my father is buried at the same cemetery.
So I found that very touching, very beautiful. Thank you to Ginger Alden. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We will be bringing up Ginger Alden as a topic. We're massive fans of Ginger Alden. I don't think she ever betrayed Elvis. I think this book speaks beautifully about Elvis. So we're going to go on to some new topics. And what we're really trying to say here is that to the people that have been good to Elvis, that have honoured his life, that have spoke well of Elvis and have been loyal and true to Elvis, we stand by you. We stand by you. We, the fans around the world. Loyalty is so important. Elvis deserves better. Thanks, guys. See you on the live stream.
That's it, guys. I'm going to come back, do another live. I'm going to drop my son off to football. So in about half an hour, we'll do another live. So that's it. I think you get the message. Thanks for joining me, guys. Many of you will watch this later. If you had all around the world, America, wherever you are, England, Australia, Canada, wherever you are, even Italy. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Hi, Kate. This is beautiful. So I've also posted that video on our Elvis Presley fan on keto. If you've enjoyed what we do, guys, get us a coffee. We want members. It's only $1. It's nothing. It's pennies. And thank you to anyone that sends me a super thank you. Debbie sent me a coffee. Thank you so much, Debbie. You're very kind. But we're on another path. This is the path that we're on. Don't worry, Kate. You can watch it back. We're doing another live in half an hour. We're on a new path. We keep changing our path. We were on a path that was exposing the people that betrayed Elvis. Now we're doing it differently. We still will expose people that betrayed Elvis, but we are also now showcasing the people that were good to Elvis, the people that truly loved Elvis, that were there for Elvis no matter what, that loved him whether or not he was famous or wealthy. They loved him because he had a good heart. Because he had a good heart. They knew the true Elvis and they loved him no matter what. And these people, we are going to show them off. Make a big noise about them. And Ginger Alden is one of them. So guys, give me some names. Tell me some people that were really true to Elvis, that loved him, that knew he was a good man, that had with a golden heart, that knew he was a beautiful Christian man. And didn't see the money, didn't see the beauty that he had, didn't see his voice, just his voice. They saw the true man. Let me know who they are. Put it in the comments, and we are going to pick them one at a time. Let's think of an example quickly. Anita Wood. She knew how lovely Elvis was. June Juniker. Gladys Presley, Elvis's mother. These people knew how beautiful Elvis was. Some family members were very loyal to Elvis. Very loyal. I think Patsy was one, wasn't she? So give me the names, guys, so we can pick out these people that were good to Elvis, that truly loved him, like Charlie Hodge, like Larry Geller. Give me the names. We're going to showcase them. There are many, many more names. Many more names, guys. And then we are going to pick them out one at a time. One at a time, and we're going to show them off for how loyal and true they were. But also the people that did the opposite, that let him down, that stitched him up. We're going to expose them as well, because that's why we're called Defending Elvis. Okay, remember, Defending Elvis is a tough job to do, and we do it with pride. Me, Team Elvis, we do it with pride. Elvis deserves better. Elvis deserves better because he's worth it. Because he's worth it. Okay, guys? See you